Pentagon, your tax dollars paying for people to spy on Donald Trump and his campaign? Oh, that's a huge scandal. Wait till you see that money trail. Isn't that going to be delicious? How do you feel about that? You working hard to pay for your president to be spied on. How did it make you feel good? That wet your beak? Bake your bagels a little bit? You know, the great John Solomon, he has his website, Just the News. We use his reporting all the time. He appeared on another terrific reporter, one of the few left, Maria Bartiromo, her Fox show. And he nailed two big takeaways from what he thinks is coming in this Durham investigation of the Spygate probe. Again, the Spygate, sometimes Paula gets on me because it's a very complicated scandal if you get into the wonkery. But the overall gist of it is very simple. They spied on the president. They used fake information for doing so. It's really that simple. I want to play this video. It's about 1:40, but it's worth your time. Solomon hits these two high points and the two big takeaways from what he thinks is coming into the investigation. One of them is that 17 agencies say President Trump was being helped by the Russians. Remember that? The ICA, the Intelligence Community Assessment? Yeah. That was all a fraud. Yeah. That was nothing more than a cover job from Obama after they got caught spying on Trump. That's coming. And secondly, he talks about the Office of Net Assessments I covered in my Devin Nunes interview, which is a separate division in the Pentagon, which was giving money to some of the people who were involved in the spying operation on Trump. Takeaway number 2 is, was your tax dollars being used to spy on a presidential candidate through the Pentagon? Wouldn't that be a big deal? We've been talking about these two things for a long time. Listen to John Solomon sum them up beautifully. Check this out.
I've talked to CIA officials for a long time, and I know exactly what their fears are. We may get to see those fears in the public very soon. Devin Nunes, back in 2018, when he was House Intelligence Committee chairman, sent a secret referral to the CIA Inspector General that challenged the CIA spycraft during the Russia collusion investigation, and specifically the conclusion that John Brennan made as he was going out the door, that Russia was specifically trying to help Trump win and Hillary couldn't lose. I can tell you that in that document, that classified document, there is a lot of bad news for the CIA's work. And the hint that maybe the CIA also had evidence Russia was trying to help Hillary Clinton, and they hid that information from the American public.
Yeah, we also know that the Office of Net Assessments paid out washed-up spies potentially to entrap Trump campaign people. I'm talking about Stefan Halper, who was making huge amounts of money being paid out by the Office of Net Assessments, $411,000 right before the warrant to spy on Carter Page was secured. Was John Brennan running that?
I have a funny feeling the FBI was running that based on my reporting, though I wouldn't be surprised if CIA and Halper had a lot of contacts as well. I think we're going to learn more about that in the next couple of weeks. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the release of new information that illuminates what Stefan Halper was doing, what ONA was doing, and who their handlers were inside law enforcement and U.S. intelligence. I'm hearing of a declassification that could be coming down the road very quickly.
There it is. There it is. Johnny Solomon, justthenews.com. Knocking it out of the park again with the great Maria Bartiromo, who always knows the questions to ask. Here are your two big takeaways. The 17 agencies said the Russians were trying to help Trump. That report is bogus nonsense garbage. It was produced after Trump won the election in the transition period to cover for Obama, and they may have had information indicating not only was Russia not trying to help Trump, but was actually trying to help Hillary. Wouldn't that be weird? Devin Nunes calls the ICA, Intelligence Community Assessment, 17 agencies. He calls it the Obama dossier. So do I. That was nothing more than political cover for Obama to feed to the media so everyone could keep the collusion hoax going and keep the heat off Obama's role in Spygate. Second takeaway, the Office of Net Assessments. Pentagon, your tax dollars paying for people to spy on Donald Trump and his campaign? Oh, that's a huge scandal. Wait till you see that money trail. Isn't that going to be delicious? How do you feel about that? You working hard to pay for your president to be spied on. How did it make you feel good? That wet your beak? Bake your bagels a little bit?
You just heard Dan Bongino.